Hey everybody, how's it going? Today I want to kind of break away from all my deep dive videos and the other stuff that I put up on my channel. And I want to show my Rolling Stones vinyl collection. And one of the reasons why I want to show it is because I want to show it off. All right? But no, seriously, Rolling Stones, unlike the Beatles, Rolling Stones, especially the early albums, are very hard to find in good condition without ring wear, without a lot of spine splits, without the corners being all chewed up. People were very hard on the Rolling Stones albums. And the ones in great condition, it seems people are just not giving away, or they're not selling them at the local record store. So they've been very difficult to come by. So I kind of pride myself on the condition of my early Rolling Stones albums because I have probably in some cases overpaid to have pristine copies of those early London Rolling Stones records. So anyway, I don't want to spend too much time talking about what I'm about to show you because I will address each album as I show it. So anyway, enough with all this. So this is the first North American Rolling Stones album, England's Newest Hitmakers. This is, and I would say, probably VG plus to near mint. For an album this old, I'm pretty impressed with the condition that I was able to find this record in. There is the slightest bit of ring wear at the top. You can't even probably tell on this video, but anyway, I'm very happy with this pressing. This one especially, at least around here, is very difficult to find. And to find it in the condition that I did is really pretty impressive. This is the Rolling Stones volume. This is Rolling Stones 12 by 5 in the UK. This particular cover was used for the Rolling Stones Volume 2, but this is Rolling Stones 12 by 5. Again, it's the stereo electronically reprocessed, boo, but the condition of the jacket is really great. Like, I can't believe how great condition this jacket is. I'm not sure what this pressing dates from. Maybe somebody can clue me in on it, but that's their second US album. I've got another copy right here. This one is not in as great a shape. Not a tremendous amount of ring wear on this one, except for on the back. You can kind of see up here. The spine is pretty chewed up. This is just a copy I have because it's just in true stereo, I guess, because it doesn't have the reprocessed stereo on it. But, at some point I would like to upgrade this particular copy of the album, get a true stereo copy with a jacket that's in better shape. The vinyl is fine, but I'm also very meticulous about the condition of the jacket. So I'd like to get an upgrade on that jacket. And now, two of the jewels of my collection, and I spent a shitload of money to get these. These are near mint condition copies of the third North American Rolling Stones album. This is the stereo copy. It's still in the fucking shrink. And yeah, I paid a boatload for this. But this is probably, you're not going to find a copy as clean in the shrink. Looks like nobody ever played it, sat on a shelf. But I'm very happy about that one. And then I've also got the mono copy. The mono copy, I paid an obscene amount of money for this because it is, again, it looks like nobody played this record. It sat on a shelf. The corners are sharp. There's no ring wear. Look at the back of this. Are you kidding me? A mono copy in this condition, you just don't see. And I paid almost $70 for this because I knew I was never going to. It's one of those situations where I'm never going to find a copy of this album in this condition ever. So yeah, I overpaid, but I'm happy I did because I freaking love this album. And to have 2 copies in near mint condition is really unheard of. This is one that I just picked up recently. If you saw one of my finds videos, this is a mono copy of Out of Our Heads, not a repress. Yeah, I was like, my jaw dropped when they were selling this because the vinyl was all beat up, but I had a great copy of the vinyl already. So I just Frankensteined it. I took the near mint jacket and stuck it with my great vinyl copy of it. And now, you know, I was like, God, you just, especially this album, you just don't see it without the ring wear. It's so old. People play these to death. And people weren't buying Rolling Stone records like they were Beatle records. Where Beatle records were just flying off the shelves. I think the Rolling Stones were more of I don't know, I don't want to say they were edgier, but people just were not buying Rolling Stones records of the volume they were Beatles. So to find a copy like this, I was extremely happy to find. And then I've got this stereo copy, which also is in great shape, but this is still in the shrink. I think this has got to be like a 70s or 80s press, but that's all right. At some point I will find. I'm always on the lookout for a great stereo copy of this. This has at the very bottom, digitally remastered from original master recording. That's why I think it's from the 80s. I think this is an 80s press, but you know, I don't know. I don't see a lot of stereo copies, at least like 60s presses of this one. So that's one of the ones on my wish list. December's Children. This is in pretty good shape for the most part. This was originally in the shrink. I took the string off. It had a hype sticker on it. Somebody ripped off. It just looked terrible. Even in the shrink, it looked terrible. So I took the hype stick. I took the entire shrink off with the ripped off hype sticker. And I would say it's in, you know, probably, I mean, the jacket itself is in VG plus condition. The vinyl is in also VG plus condition. But anyway, next one I have, this is Big Hits, High Tide, and Green Grass. Nice copy of this. Of course, you got the gatefold with the booklet in it. Great, great collection. First Rolling Stones Greatest Hits albums. And yeah, I do prefer the US version over. This is the UK version of Big Hits and High Tides. It's a repress, but still, the back cover was used for the American version, but I love it. It's got like a different font. It's crazy how this whole, and the track listing is different. It starts out with Have You Seen Your Mother, Baby? This was actually released later than the US copy, which is one of the rare times where, and for some reason, the Rolling Stones in North America, we got those records before the UK versions were released. And this was one of those because you've got the fisheye lens here of the 1966 era Rolling Stones. So this was released in early 1966, whereas I believe the US version was released in late 1965. So now we're getting into my favorite era of the Rolling Stones, which is their mid-60s albums. And by that, I mean like technically 66 through 68. This is my mono copy of Aftermath. Not in the greatest condition. The vinyl is fine, but the jacket itself, like, and this is what I mean when I say hard to find Rolling Stones albums, the early ones in good condition. You know, the spine's all chewed up, got a little bit of ring wear in here. Not terrible, but this is on obviously the Red London label, but could certainly do with an upgrade. I've got the Rolling Stones, the box set, the mono box set, so it's not like an urgent need to find a better copy of this, but I would still, if I found one for under 40 bucks. A nice clean jacket copy of this, I would certainly grab it. This is my stereo cut. This is in way better condition. This is, I would say, just shy of near mint. You got sharp corners. There's no ring wear. Very, very clean copy of this one. I was shocked to find this record in the condition that I found it. So happy about that. And then this is the recent 180 gram repress of Aftermath, which sounds phenomenal. They've been, this year, 2023, I'm very happy that the Rolling Stones have been reissuing all of their American albums and some of their UK albums also on 180 gram represses that sound amazing. Speaking of which, this is Aftermath, the UK version in stereo. I've got the UK mono and the Rolling Stones in mono box set. So this one, obviously it's still in the shrink, so looks and sounds amazing. This is my mono copy of their first live album, Got Live If You Want It. This is in great shape too. The sleeve is in phenomenal condition for an early Rolling Stones album. Very clean, and it's interesting to me, like there's no song titles or anything on the back. It's just this blank photograph. I don't know why. This is my stereo copy, which is, it's in fair shape. It's certainly not, not in the condition that my mono copy is in, but it does have the writing on the back. The title of the album and then the track listing. So I don't know why there's that difference between the mono and the stereo version, but you know, VG plus, I would rate this jacket for sure. All right, this is a it's kind of, I guess, like a bootleg. You know, after all the Rolling Stones music from the early 60s, I guess, fell out of copyright or whatever, they started issuing a lot of bootlegs. This is like BBC recordings and live stuff, outtakes, whatnot. So I just stuck it in here because it's that time period. Another time, another place. You've got Around and Around, Time Is On My Side, The Last Time, Little Red Rooster, and these are all like BBC or live recordings. Side B is more, got Painted Black, Lady Jane, Have You Seen Your Mother Standing in the Shadows, Ruby Tuesday, Let's Spend the Night Together. This is from a September 11th, 1966 show. So, you know, it's, anytime I see this, stuff like this, I will pick it up. All right, Between the Buttons, this is my stereo copy, original stereo copy. Pretty decent, sleeves in pretty decent shape. The vinyl's in great shape. Pretty clean jacket on this one. This is my original mono copy of it. Sleeves in all right shape, not terrible. There's no ring wear. A little bit here at the bottom, I guess. The back is a little splotchy. But the spine is in good shape. So anyway, mono copy of that. This is the 2023 reissue on 180 gram vinyl, the stereo reissue, and then I've got the mono reissue in the Rolling Stones mono box set. But yeah, quirky album, but I like it. I know there's some people who hate on that record, but whatever. This is the stereo copy of the UK Between the Buttons. You got the Decca label right there. So the track listing is different. No, Let's Spend the Night Together or Ruby Tuesday on this one. I prefer the US version. Kind of like the Rubber Soul. I prefer the US Rubber Soul over the UK, but that's another story. So anyway, that one. This is Flowers. This is a mono copy, and this is, it's a repress, but it was back when they were reissuing it's the DSD, Digital Sound, whatever the other D is, I don't know. Anyway, but when they re-released all the Rolling Stones CDs remastered on SACD format. This is just on black vinyl. So this is like a, I don't know, early 2000 press probably. But anyway, it came in one of these sleeves, like these resealable sleeves or whatever. But there's no London Records logo anywhere on here, which is interesting. And then this is a 180 gram repress of Flowers, which just came out this year. And it's a stereo copy. So anyway, still on the lookout for an original pressing of Flowers. Okay, next we have their Satanic Majesty's Request. This is the lenticular cover. Again, one of the jewels of my collection. The jacket's in fantastic shape. Love that lenticular cover. It really jumps out at you. It's like, oh, holy shit. But very interesting cover. It doesn't really translate onto video all that well, but still great shape for that one. This is the 50th anniversary. Still got the lenticular cover, but it's not as striking. It doesn't jump out at you quite like an original pressing does. But this has vinyl copies of the mono and the stereo. It also has CD and mono, stereo mono CDs as part of this box set. Very elaborate packaging. Just in the interest of time, I'm not going to show it off here. Beggar's Banquet, very clean copy. Not really much in the way of ring wear on this one, which I'm very happy with. You know, the Rolling Stones took some crap because, like, you're copying the Beatles with the white cover, but it was only because this version of it, they, for whatever reason, Decca would not release it. This is a repress. I think it dates right around the same time as that Friends copy that I had. The vinyl itself is clear vinyl, and then it's got like a customized label on it. That's a stereo copy. I've got the mono copy in the Rolling Stones box set. So there's that. And then this was the Record Store Day release just this past year of Beggar's Banquet, which is cool. Did I need another copy of Beggar's Banquet? No. Did I grab one? Yes, because I'm a freak. But it's a swirling mass of gray, blue, black, and white vinyl. So let's see what exactly that looks like. This swirling mass. So yeah, look at that. It almost looks like a black label. But anyway, that's Beggar's Banquet. I didn't even take it out of the shrink because I know what the gatefold looks like. So I'm like, why bother? I like having my stuff in the shrink. So anyway, I've kept it that way. But yeah, can you really ever have too many copies of Beggar's Banquet? I guess I submit to you, no. This is, of course, Through the Past Darkly, Big Hits Volume 2 with kind of that, I don't know what you call it, hexagon or whatever the fuck shape this is. Much like Traffic's Low Spark of High Heel Boys and Shootout at the Fantasy Factory. Had that last photo session with Brian Jones on it. Great hits collection. Then Let It Bleed. This jacket's in very good shape. My favorite Rolling Stones album. This is a repress, 180 gram repress, which has a customized cover. It doesn't have the London label. It's just got like a close-up photograph of that or whatever on the label. But happy to have that. Then their second live album, Get Your Yayas Out. Pretty decent condition. The sleeve, very sharp corners, no ring wear. Looks great. Their third, technically their third, but their first double album hits collection. This is one I could stand for an upgrade. Got some ring wear up here, but in other ways, I mean, you got pretty sharp corners on here. The vinyl's in great shape. This is one of those albums my dad used to play to death when I was growing up, so I'm intimately familiar with all the artwork, the gatefold, everything on here. This has got to be one of the best double album greatest hits collections ever. And then Rolling Stones, more, why do I say Rolling? Of course, anyway, more Hot Rocks. The second, this is got a little bit of ring wear at the top, but and ring wear on the back. Now that I'm kind of looking, is it on the back or is it just on the? It's more on the protective sleeve that I have. The jacket itself doesn't really have a whole lot of ring wear. Metamorphosis, rare because it's got 6 Rolling Stones on here. You have both Brian Jones and Mick Taylor pictured on the cover. This was kind of rare at the time. You got a collection of outtakes, alternate takes, B-sides, stuff that never found its way onto a Rolling Stones album. Very cool collection. This is an early press. I know that it's not a reissue, but anyway. And then Sticky Fingers with the very cool zipper cover in great shape, not beat up at all. I had a copy that was kind of beat up, and then when I got this upgrade, I just gave it to my brother. But another cool part of my collection. This is a remastered version without the zipper cover and with a different font for the title. Exile on Main Street. This is a 180 gram repress. Still on the lookout for a 70s pressing of that. This is Goat's Head Soup, 70s pressing, I believe. And this is the alternate Goat's Head Soup cover that was just, I think it was released earlier this day. I got it from Acoustic Sounds or whatever that company is. Made in the Shade, which is an early 70s greatest hits collection on here. I don't think there's anything that wasn't on a studio album here, but early 70s hits. It's only rock and roll. I think this is a 70s press, but in pretty good condition. Very sharp corners. No ring wear or anything. Vinyl's in great shape. Black and Blue. Decent condition of that album. Sucking in the 70s, which this has got the largest hype sticker I've ever seen. Fortunately, somebody kept the hype sticker on it, but it's like an obscenely large hype sticker for this record. So whoever had the wherewithal to keep the hype sticker, like, hats off to you, great job. Because I've never seen this hype sticker anywhere else. If I could find a copy still in the shrink, and that's why did you take the shrink off? I guess I don't understand. I guess I have some follow-up questions to whoever owned this album. Like, great that you kept the hype sticker. Why didn't you just keep the shrink on it? Or maybe, I don't know, maybe it was one of those situations where couldn't salvage the shrink. But anyway, Sucking in the 70s. Then their third live album, Love You Live, which looks beat up, but that's just the way the cover is. This is one of the best condition early presses of this album that I have been able to find. Again, this is another one. I had a really beat up copy, and then I upgraded it when I found a better copy. This is Some Girls. Nothing really special about this particular pressing. Same for Emotional Rescue. It's in fair shape, whatever. Nothing too exciting. Tattoo You, what I consider to be the last truly great Rolling Stones album. Would love to find this in the shrink someday with a hype if it's not asking too much. This is Rolling Stones Solid Rock. It's like a Decca hits compilation from the 1960s, which is pretty cool. Still Life, their fourth live album, probably my least favorite of the first four. It's all right. Yeah, this is a gatefold. I always forget this is a gatefold, but anyway. And I do have this in the shrink with the hype under cover of the night with the stickers over the private parts. Then one of the most maligned Rolling Stones album, their 80s Dirty Work album. Rewind, which is the greatest hits from the basically 70s, 1971 through 1984. Steel Wheels, kind of their comeback album in the 80s, I guess you could say. This is Voodoo Lounge, which is a repress with a nice gatefold, two record set. Bridges to Babylon, another, all the rest of these are going to be represses, but happy to have that on vinyl. And then A Bigger Bang, which honestly, probably one of the Rolling Stones albums I listen to the least. I don't know why, I just don't have time for it, I guess. The Rolling Stones on air at the BBC. 2 record set. Love these early tapes of them on the radio. And speaking of, this is the Rolling Stones, and this has a lot of stuff from their early period, some of the RCA sessions, stuff that didn't make it onto their first couple of records, a lot of blues covers, stuff like Memphis, Tennessee on here, Roadrunner, Diddley Daddy, Bright Lights, Big City, Cracking Up, Honey, What's Wrong, a lot of stuff that for whatever reason was not put on a studio album. This is a kind of an unofficial pressing of that. Their most recent studio album, Blue and Lonesome. Another one I don't really listen to all that often. Not that it's not good, I just, whatever. This is the Honk album, Greatest Hits, though it doesn't have really any 60s stuff on here. It's just all like 70s forward. So, you know, anyway. So that's my Rolling Stones vinyl collection. It's not complete by any means, but always still building on it, still working on it. So anyway, hope you've enjoyed the video, and take care.